Apparently, I am boring.
Online.
Apparently, I'm boring. Apparently, however, people still want me to do a friggin' review for a show that last week was absolute garbage. Apparently, I'm boring.
That was one person's opinion over everybody else's.
Yes. I am not boring. I am not stale. I am a guy who has not done this in forever, and I am getting my footing underneath me. I am fun. I am entertaining. I am energetic. I can't cuss. No, fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Whatever his frickin' name was, go fuck yourself. I'll block you again.
And he can't unblock himself.
He's blocked from ever saying anything in my chat. You know, I'm supposed to do a SmackDown review, and I just I don't know. Like SmackDown, SmackDown.
Better than last night.
I will not say this was a horrible SmackDown, but there was nothing on this show that was really worth mentioning to me. I did not enjoy SmackDown. I have not been enjoying SmackDown.
Did you not watch that tag match?
No, actually, I missed most of it.
That was one awesome match. There was moves done that I'd never even seen before.
Well then, JD, do the review.
Off of one match.
Yeah, do the whole review. It's all you. I'm just going to sit here and listen. Go ahead.
I don't even know their name.
Wow. JD is going to try and point something out to me, and he don't even know the names of the guys who did it. It's Chad Gable. It's Jason Jordan. The American Alpha. The best team that was on NXT.
Yeah, they were awesome. They're phenomenal. The stuff I saw, I've never seen. I don't know what to say.
Had a mediocre main event tonight. And I, on behalf of the WWE and any man who watched and anyone who had anything to do with the booking of the matches tonight, I apologize to every female athlete, to every woman who's watching it. I apologize to you because that booking tonight for the women's division on SmackDown was utter freaking garbage. You did not do it just once. You did it twice. First time, which I guess in a way was kind of a blessing. I didn't want to watch Eva Marie wrestle. Or, let me rephrase that. I did not want to see her attempt to not embarrass herself in the middle of the ring attempting to wrestle, but actually making it look...
an injury. She didn't even... She got in the ring.
She was going to attempt to act as if she were a wrestler, and she's not. So, okay, that was kind of a blessing, I suppose.
And what was it JD said?
But then, I know, I agree with JD. I would rather freaking shoot myself in the head with a gun, or slice my wrists, or hang myself by my freaking shoestrings than watch Eva Marie wrestle. There you go.
What?
But then you went ahead with Carmella and Natalya. Carmella, who's trying to build herself up, trying to work her way up. You didn't even have a match then either. They just attacked each other. No match. Not once. Twice, WWE. Twice in one night. You said, screw the women's division. Just screw them. So did WWE draft the freaking Raw creative team too, where they just shit on the women again and again and again and again? Are we just going to have them as objects to stare at again? Fuck you, WWE. No, that's utter BS. Those women, minus Eva Marie, deserve way more credit. Carmella is not the greatest, but Carmella tries. Natalya, one of the best wrestlers for a decade. Becky Lynch, one of the best wrestlers, period, on this roster. She's up there with Sasha. She's up there with Bayley. She's up there with freaking Charlotte, despite his opinion. She is up there with all of them on athletics and on skill. Yet you put her on SmackDown where there is no championship, where there's no mention of a championship, and you don't even give them matches. And then last week, you gave them 7 minutes. 7 minutes out of a whole show, and the biggest majority of that was freaking women coming out and saying, I'm such and such. Is that really WWE? How we're going to start with SmackDown and its women's division? Are we going to cross over here? Or are we just going to have the women's title exclusive to Raw and say, yeah, screw you, SmackDown. This is what you're going to get. Nothing. 5-minute matches, 2-minute matches, matches that never even start. Really? WWE? That's what we're going to do. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, SmackDown's disrespecting the women, why Raw's disrespecting former champions.
Care to elaborate? Kind of elaborate.
Former champions on Raw are getting the shots they think they should, and they're not even being appeared on Raw. They're still backstage. If it wasn't for Sheamus coming forward last night, you probably wouldn't have seen him.
Well, this isn't Monday Night Raw.
I was just saying,
this is SmackDown.
They're doing something similar, but with
I give no fucks to see Sheamus. I don't care if I ever see Sheamus. Sheamus can fly away with his big old mohawk and just bro kick himself through every door. Just get away.
What I was saying is, I was saying that as a point. They're doing that on Raw and doing this on SmackDown. The point was they were supposed to give everyone equal opportunity. That's true. They're not doing that.
I saw so many points tonight that I honestly I got angry watching SmackDown tonight. Just sitting there quietly, allowing it to bubble over and just keep building and building and building, almost to a point where I didn't even want to come on here and review this. I don't have to go to work at 5 a.m. tomorrow. I get to go in at 7. So I have time to sit here and actually do a review. But then I was like, I don't even really want to talk about this. Nothing really came out of this show tonight. And I'm sure there'll be people who will disagree with me and will say, Zakk, you're an idiot. Did you watch what I watched? Yes, I watched what you watched. I was not impressed. Was it better than last week? Yes, it was better than last week. Yeah. But yet still, we've had 2 Raws in a row. Championships on the line in both Raws. How many championships have been put up for grabs on SmackDown? None. Not one title match. You got The Miz in his 120th day of his world tour as Intercontinental Champion.
Boring.
And he sat. He sat and did nothing this week. Last week he got squashed. I understand you're not a fan of The Miz. Stop looking at it as a point of view of a fan. If you're going to do reviews, you got to look at this objectively. No. Let me finish.
Everything about it is boring.
Let me finish. Miz is supposed to be your second biggest champion on your brand. Yet you squash him to Randy Orton in a legit squash match. That's what you do. Then this week you have him sit and you act like it never happened. WWE's booking, their logic is just all off. I am not a huge fan of The Miz, but he does have value. He is better since he's gotten with Maurice on television. And you want to make your Intercontinental Champion, incredible. I'm not saying make him a fan favorite. I'm not saying he needs to be front and center. I'm just saying you can't have your Intercontinental Champion looking this way. He's one of two champions on your brand. You can't just have him looking like he's not a jobber. He's not a jobber.
That's all he is.
That's not what The Miz is for. I know I'm jumping around here and I'm not on course, but there's things I saw on this that just irked me so bad. I'm done with the fun and games. I am done with the ha ha ha, let's be fun. I am serious tonight. I am not playing anymore. WWE, you seriously need to pick up the ball, get on it, and stop messing around. You have this brand extension. You guys look like you have no clue what you're doing. None. Yes, JD.
Well, I feel like I'm sitting next to Jim Ross.
What? What? Shall I continue? You're just looking at me. I thought you had something you wanted to say.
I feel like I'm sitting next to Jim Ross. You just
what? You're gonna scoot away from the camera? Should I turn the camera slightly?
Calm down.
No, I'm not gonna calm, and I'll tell you why. Because I am a lifelong fan of the WWE.
Yes.
I love the WWE.
Yeah, but
I understand,
this
as John
is not
said,
the WWE.
I understand that. But look at the talent that they have. Look at the roster. Look at the potential this product, both Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, I know the freaking roster was kind of hard to really separate because how thin it already is. And they're going to bring in older guys. I understand that this is a growing pain that they're going to be going through, but still, potential. You didn't need to do this brand split. You really, honestly, WWE didn't need to do this brand split. And it's becoming more and more and more apparent each week. I'm sitting here and I'm seeing you guys floundering.
Like I
Raw,
said,
which is 3 hours, is looking better.
like I said when they first did it, I didn't think they needed to.
No, and I was all for it at first because, like, okay, maybe it'll bring some excitement. I thought legitimately SmackDown would be better. 2-hour format with the guys, with the fact that it's Shane running it, and with the format. I just thought it would be a wrestling show and it'd be better yet. It is more talking than it is wrestling. And now they got this stupid backstage thing where it's the big old announce table that they use for the pre-shows that they're doing interviews at. You got Renee Young sitting way over there, and then whoever over here. It's just
that, and I was hoping to see more of the talent backstage that you don't see except for standing around backstage or in the locker room or just wandering around doing nothing, actually compete in the ring. You're not seeing it.
the only thing I can honestly sit here and say was good is more Ronaldo. Thank you, Mr. Ronaldo, for consistently being good. I even didn't mind No Tonga. I will give them credit. Less JBL this week talking.
Yes.
Less of JBL's mouth. Someone went and said, JBL, you were not lead announcer. Tone it back. This is not Maggle. This is Moro freaking Ronaldo. Dude knows what he's talking about. You ain't got to try to carry him. And JBL, you suck as a commentator. Get off the TV. I'm going to buy my Get Off the TV t-shirt, and I'm going to wear it proudly in support of JD. Now, I actually do have a Raw review. I am, let's see, where are we at? I am 15 minutes into this, and I have yet to actually review anything. And I told JD before we went on that I wanted to make it a short review, but for some reason I went off. And I'm having a premonition that I'm probably going to go off again.
Why don't we talk about the Randy Orton match?
We'll get to that. There's a few things we got to plug first. This is your SmackDown review.
Plug? We already got that one.
Wow. Really? Okay. This is your SmackDown Live. I fucking hate that name. This is your SmackDown Live review for August 2nd, 2016. They were in Nashville, and right off top, the crowd was crappy. It was a crappy, craptacular, lousy, again, Southern crowd who was just like, "You're here. We're just here. Yay, Monday Night Raw. And then tonight, SmackDown. Yay." Boring yet again. Crappy crowd. Very quiet. No pops. It was even less than last night.
Yeah.
That was
I noticed that.
poor crowd.
It's like they were asleep.
Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, Dean Ambrose. Oh yeah, Dolph Ziggler. Wake me up when the next guy comes out.
Why he's taking some snoozes.
Like, for real, Nashville, why were you there? I know this is SmackDown and it's not Monday Night Raw, but seriously, I'm gonna go on a tangent. Let's just.
Where's your notes?
Yeah, let me just get my notes.
You need some ice?
No, I'm completely good. I'm good. If you didn't see my tangent and you're just joining, go back to the beginning of this video and listen to my little rant. But they started off backstage with Randy Orton RKOing
security.
With Randy Orton RKOing Brock Lesnar last night on Raw. And they pan out and there's Shane. He's talking about reprimanding him and repercussions, but then telling him, "Oh yeah, good job. It was awesome." Yeah, it was okay.
I thought he'd be laughing about it.
And then they just took Randy. And then here came Miz talking about how he's the Intercontinental Champion and how he should be booked better and how he should be, premiered, because they didn't hoist him on, their shoulders like they did Dean. So they made a triple threat number one contenders match with Baron Corbin, Kalisto, and Apollo Crews. And wow, I didn't know who was going to win that one. Oh, I'm sorry. Apollo Creed, as Mr. Bryan said. General Manager Daniel Bryan. Who is Apollo Creed? Is he new to the roster?
Last I heard, he was in the Rocky movie.
I guess Apollo Creed resurrected back on Tuesday Night SmackDown. How about that?
Is Rocky the Italian Stallion going to join next year?
Yeah, we're going to have a tag team, or is it going to be, New York Connection or some crap like that? I don't know.
Philadelphia.
Well, one was in New York, one's in Philly, or was it Boston? I don't know. It has nothing to do with it. It was Apollo Crews. I know everyone caught it. They just acted like it didn't even happen. But then Dean came out and said something about talking to his number one contender, and then he just wandered off like Dean Ambrose does. Because what he does.
Talking about a number one contender.
I will say, although I was not pleased with tonight's SmackDown, I keep wanting to say Raw.
Oh, well, at least it's better than you saying pay-per-view.
Yeah. The segment with Dean and Dolph was brilliant. Very well put together. Very well planned.
Back and forth. Mean, rude.
Oh my gosh. Dean comes out, talks about how he scratched and clawed to get where he was, and he had to go through his Shield brethren to keep the title, and that he plans on keeping it and staying champion and building his legacy. He says, but how about we get to know our number one contender? And he brought out Dolph Ziggler. And Dolph comes out, says, we're a lot alike. He says, no, we're not. He says, you're a show off. I'm a go-getter. He talks about,
you're a whiner. I'm a
doer. He's like, I do, you whine, you worry about the crowd, what they think. You worry about your image. You worry about shaking your butt. You worry about this. He pretty much told him he's distracted by everything. And then Dolph brings up the fact that, he says that Dean talks about scratching and clawing, yet he started at the top with the Shield. And he says, I was a cheerleader. He brought up the Spirit Squad, of all things.
And then he talks about barricades.
Yeah, he talks about hurdles and doing this and jumping over hoops or jumping through hoops and really literally scratching and clawing and talking about being disrespected and overlooked, being told he's not good enough and being told he's
just
too good.
Just pushed his way through.
Yeah, I loved this promo. And he talked about going in to SummerSlam, burning Brooklyn to the ground, and walking out the WWE World Champion. And Dean just goes,
"No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're not going to do any of that.
Because you're a loser."
Yeah, called him a loser. I love this. It was heel from Dean.
Dropped the mic.
Yeah, and then just walked off. And then Bray Wyatt came out. Sister Abigail challenged Dolph to a match. And
then Dolph goes whining to Shane.
Yeah.
And demanding for a match.
Yeah. I loved the way they booked this segment. I knew Dolph was going to win.
Yeah.
At very least, it was going to be a draw to me. But we'll talk about that later. But I love it. I love the passion that you saw between these two guys. It felt real.
Yeah.
Both are really good on the microphone in this segment. Dean's always good, but in this particular segment, Dean's just really like, yeah, no, you're not.
Mixed pretty well.
They played some real life, Dolph just kind of floating through the mid card and really aimlessly with nothing to do. They really played that up in this, and you could see the fire. Talking about how he's that kid from Cleveland who was 5 years old and said, this is what I want to do. If I'm lucky enough, I'll do this. And he said, going to Kent State and sit in those records.
Work his way through amateur wrestling, and did he go to college?
Yeah, that's
college
amateur. I mean,
Well, I was talking about high school.
I loved this promo. I think this was the best moment of the entire night. And then Bray to, I guess, give intrigue. Oh, can Dolph do this? Will Dolph manage this?
Shows what's going to be next week, possibly a tag team match.
We'll get to that. Don't jump ahead. Calm down. Simmer down. And then they even preluded to what was I going to say? See, it caused my mind to wander. I'll come back to it if I think of it. But Dolph talking to Daniel and Shane, how you don't believe in me? Go screw yourself. I love that little. He just flat out go screw yourself. Like, oh. And just the passion, how he's like, because I'm that damn good. And then Dean just telling him, no, you're not. I loved it. I loved it.
And which one do you think is better out of the two?
What do you mean? As far as talking?
Wrestling.
Dolph, all day. Dolph is the better wrestler. Which we'll get to that too. So then, you had the triple threat match. The match was okay. Miz was ringside doing Miz things. Apollo Crews won the match by rolling up Kalisto and getting the victory. I saw that coming. When they announced the match. I'm not shocked or surprised. Are you even shocked about that? No. Then after... go ahead.
Well, what was you going to say?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to talk about what happened after the match, so go ahead.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, go ahead.
And then The Miz comes in and attacks Kalisto, and Apollo Crews comes back.
Creed.
What? Creed, sorry. Evidently.
Yeah.
Comes back in to try to save the day like the hero that he is.
And then Miz comes in, skull-crushing finale.
But did anybody notice the big grin on his wife's face?
After he got the end of days by Baron Corbin? I didn't even see that. I was already looking the other direction.
She had a big grin on her face and was walking around the corner. While Miz was laying out.
Maybe Mr. Corbin got her a little excited. Who knows? Back to my mean mug. So then, as I talked about earlier, again, I apologize for the disrespect these women were shown tonight. Becky versus Eva Marie. First off, get rid of that god-awful everything red entrance that she freaking does. Oh, dear God. And then, no match happened. JD from New York on YouTube said we just witnessed the greatest Eva Marie match ever.
That's
the
what I was talking
one
about earlier.
that didn't happen.
Yes. Yes.
It was amazing. And I'm not going to talk more about it because I'll probably go back on another tangent. Honestly, I will.
What'd you think? Flash ran through the ring or something and smacked her in the back of the leg?
I don't know. She just gets in the ring. She's just like, and then Carmella, and then in the little interview talk about, it looks like a real serious injury, but I'm the princess of Staten Island.
And
I
what
can
did JBL
smell
say?
something.
JBL said that.
Don't no. I'm not bringing that up again. JBL, dude, who's your dealer? And please connect me to him, because whatever you're on that makes you think the things that you think, I want that stuff too. So maybe I'll feel more happy-go-lucky when I see Eva Marie.
He's not on anything. He's JBL electric.
He's something.
He's got electricity running through his body.
He's talking about Eva Marie can change the whole women's division. You're right, JBL. She can. She can make it even more trashy than it already is.
It's funny because she makes up fake injuries.
Oh, God.
It's all right if you have faking an injury when somebody was doing something to you. But when you haven't even done anything but climbing the ring?
Man, I'm not going to talk about this more. I'm getting mad.
Let's go on.
Vaudevillains against American Alpha.
I expected more out of this match.
Oh, hold on. I skipped over a very important key segment here. Carmella's interview with Renee Young at the big table.
You did.
The big, what do they call it? The SmackDown Live something or another. No, because remember, Natalya came out and they challenged to a match. Again, that never happened.
Okay.
Vaudevillains against American Alpha. You saw more of this match.
I expected more out of this match, is what I was talking about earlier. Because I've seen these guys wrestle, the Vaudevillains. They're great wrestlers, old school, bringing back the old day. I like that. But I didn't see much of that tonight. The new team.
I'm looking at, when I look at American Alpha, I see Team Angle. I see Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. I see the Rockers. I see old school.
Times 20. What I saw.
I see old school wrestlers, and I would love more than Kurt Angle to come back and face Rusev. I would love Kurt Angle to come back and make a Team Angle with those guys.
Yeah.
Ever since I heard the idea, I've loved it.
When they threw him up against the rope and was going to clothesline him, he went like this, flipped over, and landed on his feet. I'd never seen anything like that.
These guys are amazing.
And for a big guy to do that's amazing.
And I wanted to take a second to talk about something. For the ones who do maybe find me a little boring, I am trying to get my foot in. JD has never done this. Just let me say what I got to say. I got into doing YouTube because of two guys in particular. That's JD from New York, and that's Joe Cronin on the Joe Cronin Show. If nothing else I do on this channel is worth anything, if I can just get you guys to go to their channel and watch them, I feel like I made a success. Now, would I like for my channel to grow? I'm only at 20 subscribers. I'm working at getting better. But I just go to their channel. I've already got their links in the description. Go check out JD. Go check out Joe Cronin. They do these live reviews. They're much more well-spoken. They're a lot better than me. What?
Quit going on about that Mario brother freak.
Mario.
He doesn't even know what he's talking about.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about two guys who are legit great in the YouTube
keep going
community.
Back to that comment. You're not boring. That guy doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Okay, JD. My point is, go check those guys out. They are the reason I'm on YouTube. I would like to say that I could do as well as they're doing, and they're not huge channels. They're not. But you got JD at almost 60,000 subscribers. Joe's well over 30,000. Go watch those guys. Go watch them. They're well spoken. Everything's well thought out. Production's great. I'll get there, but I will do what I do on my measly little 25 subscriber channel, but go see them when you're done with this. Just saying. So where were we? Sorry, I just had to get that out there because
talking about the tag match.
Yeah, I had to get that out there because I owe what I'm doing to those guys. I really do.
I understand that.
So, promo of Cena hosting the Kids' Choice Awards. Who cares? No, really. Cena looked funny. I think Cena probably did okay.
He even admitted that he looked funny. He did that for the look.
Yeah. AJ Styles and John Cena segment. Another good segment. Another real passionate. Of course, Cena toting the same line. I love this, but he said a line. He says, "I know we're in WWE and love it throwing around a lot. It isn't tough, but God, whatever. I'm a grown man. I love this. I love this. I get him. I understand what he's saying. It was a passionate promo, and you just see AJ sitting there after all of that. He's just sitting there, and he just, heel dick move, just a dick, and I love it.
All that talk that AJ was doing, with it being SmackDown and John Cena back on SmackDown, I was hoping for some glimpse of the Doctor of Thugonomics to come out on him.
JD, that's never gonna happen. Just get over it.
You know how the crowd would have opened up on that?
Move past it, JD. It's over. Go. It's back here. We're going this way.
Yeah.
It's just
the crowd would have unleashed themselves.
Leashed themselves. I would hope they would keep themselves leashed. But AJ talks about Nashville being stupid, the kids being stupid, the parents being stupid, and they're all stupid because they all make Cena look like he's something great, that he's going to expose him. We've heard this before. And he basically, after everything that went on, he challenged him to another match at SummerSlam and says that after SummerSlam, you'll have to come out, you'll have to admit that I'm better than you, because if you don't, you're a liar, and if you do, you're a loser.
He basically said that he brainwashed people like me that actually liked him.
He did. Cena has been growing on me the last year or so when he started that U.S. Open Challenge and stuff. But I am still not a John Cena fan. By no means used to be. I am not a John Cena fan. Used to be. I was. But then he did what he did, and
it killed his character.
But I love the promo between these two guys. I thought it was great. They have really good interactions, and I hope SummerSlam still is not the end of this feud. I do hope it carries through to Backlash, which they're having.
Yeah.
Fandango versus Randy Orton. Randy, if you thought you weren't going to come back and face Fandango, you were wrong, buddy. You were right there in the middle of the ring with Fandango. This match pretty much ended in a disqualification. The match didn't amount to nothing.
I don't even know why they're throwing guys that's not even on his level in the ring with him.
Well, it's to get the ring rust off of him for SummerSlam.
Put him in there with Bray Wyatt.
Well, Miz is on his level. Miz is a former champion. Miz is still a higher level than Fandango. You stupid idiot. Anyways, this is going nowhere really quick. We were expecting this all night. Brock Lesnar shows up, gets in the ring, F5's Randy Orton, and then just walks out like, yeah, I did what I wanted to do. I'm done. Randy got his F5. I'm good now. Your take on the segment, even though it's short and kind of pointless. Randy looked better this week than he did last week, too, by the way.
Well, my point I'm going to make is what happened afterwards. I was disappointed on the security.
Okay, it's fake. It's meant that, okay, Brock Lesnar's in the ring. I'm not touching him. You remember last year? It took security and over half the roster to break up him and Undertaker. You remember that?
Yeah. Where were those guys at tonight? These guys were. Shane's telling them to get in there and get them out of the ring. Get out of the ring. Get out of the ring.
So we go from a Brock Lesnar segment with Orton to Heath Slater backstage with Daniel Bryan
and Gordon.
got gored for the second straight week in a row.
How'd you get in here?
Your security's pretty bad, man. Well, we were just dealing with Brock Lesnar. You know,
I think we need
a medic,
some medical help in my office,
like soon. Hey, but he's got a match. He could get his contract with SmackDown. He finally got that, but he's just probably going to get gored real quick again next week.
I forgot all about that. He got his contract last week, but he wasn't on the show no more than 2 seconds.
I'm telling you, dude.
Tell him, put him in a match. People want to see the gore.
Dean Ambrose got, I mean, I think Heath Slater's funny. I'm finding Heath Slater more and more funny each week with that whole hottest free agent thing that he keeps saying.
Take him away from being a wrestler and give him a show.
Yeah, I mean, all right, real quick, let's see. Okay.
People are just popping up.
He looks like Randy Orton. Who looks like Randy Orton? Oh, you look like Randy Orton. The guy on the left doesn't look like a WWE fan. Wait, who's left? Which one's left?
Left. Hold on here.
Brennan Brad.
Hold on here. This goes to something I got earlier. I had comments that you look like Obi-Wan Kenobi and I look like Shane McMahon. I don't understand that. But me look like Randy Orton?
I had to check these comments.
I can understand
Brad, what's up, man?
I can understand how they say this guy looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi because he's got the hair going on and the beard.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this review. I'm gonna respond to what Brennan Brad had to say, and I'm gonna tell you, yes, Bray needs a championship. I think he does need the championship to get some sort of heat back. And that's JD. And no, he's not a wrestling fan. He's a fan of PP.
Excuse me?
And oh, wow, we actually had some comments tonight.
Were you reading the one about Randy Orton?
JD likes me.
No. No.
Okay, thank you guys. Keep the comments coming. Who's watching this?
He said that. Okay.
He looks like Randy Orton. That was Ethan. He was on the I think
Yes.
Raw last week or SmackDown.
Thank you, Ethan.
Okay. Anywho, continuing on. Where were we? Oh yeah, Dean Ambrose had an interview. We'll talk more about Bray, Brennan when I get to that, but I'll have some stuff to say. Natalia and Carmella didn't happen. Dean Ambrose had an interview that went nowhere. It just went nowhere. Period. Suplex City, bitch. Suplex.
I was expecting Randy Orton to flip off.
Yes. It's nice to know that someone familiar. Wayne's in the chat, everybody. Wayne is in the chat.
Another Brock Lesnar.
So go ahead, give me your opinion on the fact that Natalia and that didn't happen.
I didn't see it. I went to go get ice cream.
Well, I didn't see it either. Literally, it was hit him from behind, and that was it. They went back to commercial. Match didn't happen. Again, disrespect to the women wrestlers.
That reminds me of Daniel Bryan back at WrestleMania.
Oh, what was 18 seconds? 18 seconds. It was ridiculous.
Goodbye title.
18 flipping seconds. Okay, so to the main event. This match started like 15 minutes to go. Match was okay. It wasn't the greatest match. Dolph won the match. Match was okay. That's all I can really say is the match was okay. Bray. Bray needs a belt. I think you should put him in the Intercontinental title picture. I think you put Randy Orton against Miz. Listen to me. Randy Orton against Miz after SummerSlam gives Miz a major opponent. take the title off Miz, put it on Orton, and let him and Bray feud over the IC title through the rest of the year.
No. Bray against Miz.
No, I think if you're going to put the title on Bray, he needs to be someone more legit than Miz.
Oh, the Miz is legit when it comes to Randy Orton, but not Bray?
No, I didn't say he was legit against Orton. I just said he's more legit than some, but... Anyway.
We take this off, it looks like I'm watching a Chinese film, watching this talk, and then...
You no fun! Yes, I like Chinese. How about you? Do you like to eat sushi? Anyways, oh look, there I am. I see my face again. So, all in all, SmackDown was good. There's not a lot to say about the main event. It was good, but after the match, Bray and Eric Rowan attacked, Dolph and Dean came in. They put them both down. Probably going to lead, like he said, to a tag team match next week. Yay, look, is Teddy Long running SmackDown again? Tag team matches all over the place. Woo!
Yeah, but if Teddy Long was running SmackDown, like I said, should have came back, it wouldn't be so boring. I'm sorry, Shane. Daniel Bryan was not your best pick.
It is fake. He's not really in charge. But hey, I'm just hoping this is the second week of this extension. I'm going to give him a month, and if SmackDown doesn't pick up, no more SmackDown reviews. Like, for real.
Well, you got to give it to him when Teddy Long was the GM. What was the better show?
Well, SmackDown was. Then, to me, because of the star power, the wrestling power, SmackDown was its best when the first brand extension happened, and you had the Fantastic Six, or whatever they called it. You had Eddie Guerrero, Benoit, Edge, Ray, Kurt, and there was one other. Oh, the Fabulous Five or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But those guys were on that roster, and they made that roster great. So, yeah. So
I'm not disagreeing with you. I like the older. I might build a time machine and go back.
Do you think this thing with Bray tonight is going to lead into Bray being a part of the match at SummerSlam, or think it's just going to be a one-off for next week and then we'll move on to SummerSlam?
I really don't know. But with you saying that, I think the other match is going to end up being a three-way.
Oh, the Intercontinental title match? Yeah, I agree. I think that's going to be a three-way or even maybe a fatal four-way with all four of those guys. And if it is, I look for Baron Corbin to win the match.
And Miz, watch out for your wife.
Yeah, you might be taking your woman too. So we got AJ against Cena at SummerSlam announced. Not much happening for building SummerSlam tonight. So your final overall thoughts of SmackDown tonight, and then what is your grade?
My grade would be a 5, and it was decent. Better than the last week.
That's all you get. It's decent. Better than last week. SmackDown was okay. I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I think that's a decent for a SmackDown. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go with you. Decent. It was okay.
But what do you think your comment about you?
About me?
Looking like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. Yeah, Wayne. Great matches in the 80s and the 90s. Yeah, I agree, brother. I agree,
not
dude.
so much in the 2000s.
I love that. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. Oh, we got Facebook here. What's the notification? Who's the notification from? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. Everything Power Rangers. Ooh, it's Power Rangers.
That's the picture I showed you earlier.
Go, go, Power Rangers.
Team Tommy.
Okay, moving on. So, that was our review of SmackDown. It got a little crazier at the end, but we ran solid most of this review today. So if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit down. Doesn't matter to me. It still counts either way. Reminder, August. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go over the SummerSlam weekend. Friday, will be my top 10 SummerSlam matches of all time. Me and JD are going to go over them. We're going to decide which ones we like best. We're going to whittle it down to just 10, and we'll talk about them and why we like them so much. Then that's on the 19th. Then on the 20th will be the preview and predictions, which will be live. I'm going to do it live again. And then we're also going to do a live review of NXT TakeOver Back to Brooklyn that night. I think it's going to be your first TakeOver event, ain't it?
Yes.
It'll be his first TakeOver event. So he's losing his TakeOver virginity, people. We're about to watch him explode all over the place. Okay. And then, of course, Sunday, SummerSlam, Barclays Center in Brooklyn. We will be doing a live review of that with the one, the only, Jake Capone, local wrestler here, 12-year vet. I'm sure he's won many, many championships.
AKA Wrestling Dictionary.
Oh, yeah, he's the Wrestling Dictionary, apparently. The dude's full of himself. But we're gonna let him talk. We're gonna let him say what he has to say, promote what he wants, but he will be here for SummerSlam.
I wouldn't let him hear you say that.
Jake Capone, I'm calling you out, buddy. I'm calling you out. Love you, Jake.
You know he's a hitman, right?
I'm sure he is. So is his granddaddy. His granddaddy can hit this. Battle lines have been drawn now. So that is it for this review.
If you're watching this, bro, he doesn't mean anything in what he's saying. I mean it all.
Love you, baby. Anywho, let's get off here before people think we're crazy. I'm Zakk.
I'm JD.
A.K.A. the Holy Defender. A.K.A. Justice. A.K.A. Cockblower. Tell them where they can find you once again, JD.
You can find me on Facebook, JD Neely. That's Neeley. Obi-Wan, go for it.
I, Obi-Wan Kenobi, can be found on Twitter at YoBroGaming1. You can also find us and the rest of the channel and any other buffoon who's ever been on Facebook.com. That's at YoBro Gaming and Reviews on Facebook. I'll go ahead, since he's in the chat, and I'm sure he would want me to. Let's see if he's still there. Lena C.
Lemus. What?
Oh, I know who it is.
I know who that is. That's Rebecca.
No, it's not.
What?
Had to respond. I know who she is. Okay. Anyways, where was I?
You're gonna say thank you to the fan that called you Obi-Wan?
Yeah, thank you, fan who called me Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Although I don't get the whole shame look, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah, follow us on all the social media. Again, if you like the video, do that. Videos coming up all weekend. I'm doing my review of Suicide Squad this weekend. That will be up Friday. Lots and lots of stuff coming. So, you guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We will see you
next week.
Well,
or this weekend.
Yes. Great American Bash review, people.
Yeah.
Okay. That is it for us.
See you next time.
And may the Force be with you.